Now we go into Maryland, and to be honest, I'm interested more in the Baltimore, especially the West Baltimore, if I remember correctly, because there is supposed to be like a really rough area, from my understanding. My knowledge came obviously from watching the TV show Wire, so I am really interested how things are going there, especially like probably that Wire show was like, I don't know, 20 years ago or something like that, maybe even more. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they actually change a few things compared with the serial. Now I didn't watch the whole thing, so probably I'm starting. If I'm mistaken now, season 2. I think I missed season 1, so I have to go back and watch it. But let's see how things are in Maryland. As you can see from the start, it's kind of the weird shape probably in the United States that I see. And right here in this square is going to be the Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States of America. So that's going to be also in the separate video. It's small, but it's going to be interesting for sure. But let's check with some data first. And the only interesting I'm using is largest city, Baltimore. The capital, it's actually Annapolis, if I'm pronouncing it right. When I'm interested in its population, which is 6.2 million. Wow, that's pretty good. Median house income, again, those nonsense, third in the country with $98,000. Over 98, probably in 2023. Probably by now it's over $100,000, but still doesn't mean that much. Elevation, yeah, lowest level is 0 because you have coastline with the Atlantic Ocean, and the highest elevation in meter it's 110 meters, so it's not that much. The average elevation, the highest elevation is around 1,000 meters. It's pretty good, but not that high. What else can you have? You can see the seal, for example. They have 2 seals. I'm not sure exactly which one is which. Probably one for the arms, the other one for the city or the state. It's pretty good. Pretty good. We have like some sort of a king happening here, but it's pretty good, or a knight or something like that. Pretty good, pretty good. Not something to complain. What else can we find here? Probably some old maps from 1732. Wow, even before there was actually a United States of America. They have some sort of a battles here, and a civil war and all that stuff. 20th centuries. What the fuck happened here? The ruins of the Great Baltimore in 1904. What happened here? Like some sort of a fire or something like that? I don't know, progressive era, probably that's why. Political reforms, yeah, I'm not sure exactly about the political reforms. Definitely we have some fall picture here, which is pretty nice. They have some sort of a waterfall there, a small waterfall. It's pretty good. So far they're making pretty well. I mean, I from outside the cities, from outside the densely populated area, look at it, they have a horse on the fucking street, so pretty good. And a golf in the background, that's even better. And yeah, probably in the city is going to be the same old story that we've seen so far, that things are not going that well. I mean, we kind of know that. I make those videos for a while right now, and I kind of see it. It's just, I mean, look at this, man. They started with 320,000 people in 1790, which is pretty high. And they keep going up and up. But you can see roughly in this last 5 years, something like that, something happened. It's just going down. At least the growing rate is going down very fast. So it's gonna be interesting to see where exactly. I mean, look at this. They grow pretty fast in the first place. So every era has to go to an end. Let's check the white population here. How many whites they have? Back in 2013 it was 45%. Now it's 39%. Wow, they're going bad. Blacks 34%. Now they're 28%. Even they're going down. Asian 77.5, now 6.5. They're going down too. American Indian 0.4 and 1%. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, like, they're not that many in the first place, but still they have quite a significant, I would say. Also, by the way, live birth. And look at this, American Indians, they have like 300, and now they have like 75. Which again is still going down, but the percentage, oh no, it's 0.1. I thought it's gonna be no. So even they're going down. Hispanic, okay, let's check these guys. 14.6%, and now they're 22%. So everyone got replaced by Latinos, pretty much. So yeah, it's going down the toilet. Let's call it like that. 72,000 births in 2013, but now it's 65,000. So yeah, at least they're going down in the population, which is good. If you know this channel for a while, I'm a big fan of going down in population. I think what's happened in the last 200 years was absolutely insane. absolutely insane. So that's also good. Country by birth: El Salvador, India, China, Nigeria, Guatemala, Philippines, South Korea. What the fuck? There's not even close. I mean, like, not even close to USA, except El Salvador. But the rest of them just in Guatemala. There's like fucking light years away. Let's call it. So yeah, Nepal even. What the fuck happened there? It's sad. It's sad. I mean, look at this. They got from the 1970 to 81% white to 2020, which is like 58% white. And yeah, the live birth with 40%, even that 58% is gonna go down. Blacks 1731, almost double. Asian from 0.5 to 6.7, insanely growth. Native Americans, they got a bit higher, but not that much. Other race, God knows. Then even, you can see here, they stop even count them, as you can see. Two or more race, who gives a fuck about that? You just, there are one race or many, that's it. You don't give a fuck about like 2 or 3 or 6 or 7, what the fuck that even means. Non-Hispanic white, non-Hispanic whites. What do you mean non-Hispanic whites? They're whites or not, what the fuck? From 80 to 50, yeah, they fucked up everything there, so... It would be interesting to see. I mean, the white people, they're getting pushed out. My people, they're getting pushed out. And I have a feeling that, especially Baltimore, it's going to be a rough area because of that. So, yeah, we will see that in a second. Non-Hispanic white. Doesn't give a fuck non-Hispanic. It's going to be white or not white. That's it. And full blood white, by the way. And then we have like black or African Americans, like this part here, which I think it's correspond exactly with Baltimore. Close to that. So again, West Baltimore is going to be a rough area most likely. So we're going to see that. Yeah, I think the religion gap is like Protestants and no religion in Catholics pretty much. And they have some sort of a Jews there, 3% of the Jews. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing in that rough area, but probably they're doing pretty well there. Agriculture, yeah, outside the cities, outside the chaos, things probably they're doing much better for the average Joe. Inside, pretty much fucked up place. Oh, and that's why it's a fucked up place. Look at this, like 51% Democrats. Okay, now we find the reason why it's so fucked up. Republicans 23% and unaffiliated 22%, and the rest of them doesn't even matter. Working class, what the fuck that even means there? So yeah, the Democrats are twice as much as the Republicans, so that's why you're gonna see some rough areas. But I'm assuming, again, it's America, it's United States, it's a high income state. Things is not that bad, at least for most of the people, but I have a feeling that a few of them, they're doing very, very poorly there. So let's check them anyway. See, I want to start with the west part of the state, which is right. I mean, look at this, it's a tiny, small state compared with the rest of the United States, but still they're doing pretty decent there, I would say, especially there on the East Coast, opening to the ocean, trade a lot, probably some decent ports in Baltimore, and I want to see this part. I am interested in it. They have even a lake here. Wow, probably they're doing pretty well. House on the lake, not so bad. Let's check them. Wow, see? Not so bad. They have some boats there from above. They seem to do pretty well. This is what, 2021, exactly in the pandemic era. So yeah, back then probably not so well. Wow, we have a lot of dots there. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, roads, very, very good. Nice housing. Kind of give me a bit of the Scandinavian feeling so far. And by the way, this is September 2025. So extremely recent. I don't think anything changed by now. So we're getting top tier data, let's call it like that. But yeah, they have some trees here. They have nice constructions, well paved roads. I mean, so far I have to say they're doing pretty well here in Maryland. But I have a feeling once we start getting closer and closer to the big cities, whoo, thing is gonna change dramatically. Who knows? Maybe even the Google car didn't go in the West Baltimore. So probably, who knows? Maybe then you have some sort of a data. What's happening here? Some sort of the small town or a dump ground? What is it? I think it's a dump ground. Okay, you can hear from the scrap metal, I guess. But again, even in this, let's say, very... Oh, what was that? A fort? It's Model T, I don't know, looking pretty good. And look at that bus, also looking pretty sweet. And some really nice cars they have here. Wow, even though they're not in the best shape possible, they still looking very... Probably they are for sale 100%, otherwise they're not putting it right there in full display. But yeah, what I'm saying is like, even here in the age of the state, the roads looking pretty good, the open fields pretty nice, a lot of land, a lot of openings here. They're doing pretty decent. I'm gonna be honest, so far they're doing pretty well here. Not complaining that much. Although I would like to see a bit more wealth, comparing like a third in the country. By the income, household income, whatever that means there. They're doing below average, I would say, so far. But we will see. I mean, it's a democratic state. You cannot have that much high expectation for the way they're doing. If it's not like a really, I don't know, something like New York or Los Angeles or something like that. This is what, from 2008, when Google just started making those street views back then, and look at the differences, the quality that we have now. It's much, much better. Housing, well, it's on the cheap side, I would say, and more Scandinavian. Like, I see those color and pretty much similar architecture in those Scandinavian countries. So they clearly share something from probably the migrants back in the day. They were from that part of the Europe, so when they settled here, they took that architecture with them, I guess. So yeah, not bad, but not exactly American at the same time. I mean, like, they clearly can see some of them. They are small houses, not exactly that many nice lines or something. Wow, like a colonial house, for example, with much better architecture, I would say. This is very simplistic. Like I say, what we see in the Scandinavian country, which is kind of soulless at some point if it's not there. There it kind of works if you have, let's say, many colors and some a bit more touch of the modernity. But otherwise, even Scandinavian housing in this modern era doesn't work that well, in my opinion. Although, look at this one. They have some sort of a garbage day here and a dog statue there. But look at this one. Clearly, it's a low-income area by the American standards, but they're doing very well with cars. As you can see, they have Mercedes-Benz. I think it's a C-Class? Oh, no. Yeah, it's a C-Class 300. I thought for a second it's like an S-Class, but no. I mean, they're making those C-Class and E-Class and S-Class so similar to them. It's just pretty much dimension and a bit of the interior. And obviously quality materials. But yeah, I don't think it's worth it anymore to keep the C-Class, in my opinion. It's just... Even the E-Class, I don't think it's worth those cars. Just go for directly for... I mean, I prefer like a $50,000 S-Class fully loaded and that's it. Much, much better. And probably is going to have that once they go in full electric. And not with the EQS or whatever bullshit they try to sell you right now. That's not even a real S-Class. If you know cars, you know what I'm talking about. Here it's doing pretty well, I have to say. I mean, like, it's clearly a medium? Yeah, probably something like a medium income area. Or maybe even low by American, judging by this house. But they're doing pretty well. I mean, look at this. The streets are clean. There's no potholes. This one is for rent. I have no idea who's going to rent this one and for what price. They have a nice Subaru here, a white one, and a Ford Explorer, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure exactly. Not that familiar with the American cars that they're not selling in Europe. But they're doing pretty well. Yeah, here they're doing pretty nice. I don't have any complaints. I mean, it's age of the state. Not so bad, you know, not so bad. We definitely seen worst. Let me again go back and check the line. Hopefully I'm not mistaken. I'm not going outside the line at the same time. Look at this state, how weird it looks. Let's check this big city here. Let's see how well they're doing here. And keep in mind, we are in Maryland, so population pretty high. For such a small state, I would say, and in a weird shape, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, like, when I see those lines, yeah, it does feel like a third world country. We see that in South American countries. Here in the first world country, my opinion, doesn't have a place, but we will see. Those are parking spots. I'm not sure they're private property, so I guess they are some sort of a company or whatever they have there. But in Europe, if you have something like that, they're gonna pay taxes, a lot of taxes for that. Usually right now you pay more for the parking space than a goddamn house, for God's sake. So yeah, things are not that well here in Europe right now, but this is what, 2008. Now we're going in a more recent times, 2024. Yeah, again, those cables above and clearly look like very bad, like a third world country. But overall, I would say pretty clean. I mean, it's pretty clean, right? I mean, look at this. Again, clean streets, no potholes, no, not that much to worry. At the same time, I mean, like, I'm not sure exactly how crime is this in neighborhood, but doesn't seem to be that high. I mean, like, I don't see some sort of a ghettos or something like that. We're going for the West Baltimore immediately. But yeah, here they're doing pretty decent. Clearly a low income area judging by the housing. This is not exactly the American dream. It's not American lifestyle. It's just at the best something in between and transition if you get lucky. But yeah, that's not how we see Americans for sure. This one is more likely. You can see nice open space, nice big houses. This is kind of the main road here. It's a bit too big maybe, but wow, look at this house. That's a nice one. I mean, like, really nice. And this one too. Clearly a patriot right there. And this is August 2024. They're doing well here. I mean, pretty good. Not much to complain. Trees on this side is gonna be a bit more, but that's the American. That's again the minimum acceptable. Have some decent, not every single one of them decent. I mean, it's too close to the neighbor. But on the other side, it looks a bit better in my opinion. It's just nicer. They're doing fine here compared with what we see just moments earlier. Yeah, not even close. They have some sort of I mean, this is probably the more American style. Yeah, a bit too close from the neighbors. I mean, like, but still pretty good. Pretty good. We seem worse. So yeah, a bit more trees and you can pretty much fix that. Overall, Maryland so far in these regions don't look so bad. I mean, clearly America, for God's sake. I mean, look at those cables on the poles. Oh, there is no cables on the poles here. So, wonder why. See, this is how I identify those high income, medium or high income areas. It just look much more cleaner, much more nicer. I mean, look at this. No cables, as we see in other area. No traffic, at least not that much. This is what, 2024. Look at those S classes. I mean, the fact it's an S class, this one. Clearly a Mercedes fan here. We have two of them right there, and a station wagon. And I'm assuming this is an S class or something equivalent to a S class. Looking very, very nice and sharp. Overall, they're doing very, very well here. That's the America that I want to see. But unfortunately, you know, we have some others parts of America that not exactly very American, I would say, in my opinion, but we will see. Where else can we go? I want to check this one before we check Baltimore. I want to check something, yeah, in the middle of exactly nowhere, but see how the infrastructure goes. And again, I'm not sure exactly why they say on the TV, especially in the United States, that their infrastructure, they're crumbling. So far, they're doing pretty well. Maybe I have lower standards because I'm living in the Eastern Europe, but at the same time, they're doing pretty well here. I didn't find something outrageous all the time. Yeah, there were probably, if I remember correctly, there were a few streets with some potholes. They didn't do that well. But overall, I feel like 90% of them so far that we checked, they're doing really well. Just they're clearly good roads here in the United States. I wish they have the speed limit a bit higher, because it doesn't make that much sense for the roads that they have. I mean, dude, it's 50 miles, not even close. You need much higher for the roads that they have. So I guess they keep them artificially that low so you can find someone that goes above the speed limit, because clearly you can go very easily above the speed limit when you have such a good road. So they should raise it. The speed limit should raise. I mean, you have better cars those days than we had like 50 years ago. So I don't see any reason why we should not, even in Europe, raise the speed limit so we can actually move faster where we want. And especially if you combine that with a lowering population, probably going to have less traffic at some point, and if you have even fewer accidents. We will see. We will see about that. Yeah, here, very American again, a nice open space. They have some cables, but not outrageously as we see in other regions. So even those ones, they could be underground. And probably at some point they will do that. But overall, they're doing well. Oh, what is that? Some sort of a moose, or what is that? A deer? Pretty interesting. They have a lot of nice things here in this neighborhood. 25 and this one, It's a bit low. Again, a 30 should be easy. A 30 miles per hour speed limit, easy. That's why I think they should start raising those speed limits. Wow, that's a really nice lake here. I mean, if you can enjoy that right there, looking pretty good. And it's not that big. I'm not sure it can now allow you to go with a ski jet there, with the jet ski, but maybe if the have a small electric one, there will be better chance for you to actually ride there. Yeah, here they have some sort of a, what is that? Chevy, Silverado. The house pretty small again for the American standard. I mean, like look at the ratio between house and a truck. It's not exactly right. But overall, yeah, look at this. They have an Audi TT here. They have a Ford, have a BMW there. They have a Jag there. I think it's a Ford Taurus. My mistake. But I like it. The area is doing pretty well, and especially we have like in a backyard, we have like pretty much a forest. It's pretty good. No, it's pretty good. Good for them. So far, they're doing very well even in this part here. I mean, I like it. Again, a bit closer the neighbors between each other, but it could be, let's say, acceptable. Let's go. Compared with other areas, it could be. Oh, look at this. Nice. Yeah, again, road absolutely epic. I have no idea how much taxes they pay here, but probably because of the democratic one, probably they pay a bit higher. But they doing to the state line here. Okay, I don't want to go outside the state line. They're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well. And now it's time to go for the Baltimore, for God's sake. And let's go for the East Baltimore. How bad it can be. Come on, it can't be that bad. Again, I'm not looking for the bad areas. I'm looking for the good areas. Just going randomly on the map. I see some garbage already here and some dent car, but... And something is wrong with this line here. I mean, it's kind of rough. It is rough already. It's like, what, 2021? It's not that recently, but I'm assuming that even the Google Streetcar doesn't want to go there that often, so... oh, God. Yeah. Things not looking well. Stay away from the corners, buddy. Look at this. Guys, stay on the corner here. Oof. It's a rough area already. I mean, ooh, look at this garbage here. And those are blacks, by the way. They're supposed to be by now. They are like, how much they have? Like at least 150 years by now of sitting in the United States of America. They should be assimilated in a white culture, in my opinion. I mean, like, at least from the... how civilized you should behave. But even this experiment failed. I mean, look at this, guys. Yeah. It's a reason why it's so rough. They didn't even take care of the house, for God's sake. I mean, come on. It is bad. It is bad. So far, it's really bad. Oh, look at this. They have some money. I mean, some of them, look at the... Okay, let's just buy the car. This is one 2021. And the cars are pretty decent. But this one is very expensive. And they can afford somehow one of those. So, The best looking thing here is the church, I think. So far in the West Baltimore. But let's check them anyway. Let's check some more. Let's give them some chance. Maybe, you know... It's not exactly a fair comparison. Just find one location and that's it. Oh, look at this one. That could be better. That's a clearly American side. Okay, that's better. And I'm not sure exactly if it's still in the West Baltimore or it's in other county or whatever they have there. But here looks pretty well. They look pretty nice. They're like very American here, very classic. But yeah, I think we are a bit outside of the Baltimore there. So let's check them here. Let's check this one. It can't be all that bad. I mean, this one pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty decent here. Oh God, what the fuck happened here? Why they cannot put the trash in a trash can, for God's sake? Why did you have to just clearly uncivilized people? I would say. I mean, you can have, but the car's pretty top notch. And this is 2020. Yeah, we see this in third world countries when or non-white population usually, and this one got really fucked up usually. Sometimes even white population we find that, but mostly yeah, for blacks. I mean, in Africa we see that all the time. So I guess they took that part of Africa with them when they came here in the ships. So it is what it is, I guess. Again, 150 years of experiment, and we should know by now. It doesn't work. it doesn't matter how much you give into those people, they will never get civilized. Just the way it is. I don't know. They probably, if you ask them why they're gonna complain, they're gonna blame someone else for them, just like no jobs, no something like that. But they cannot pull together, for God's sake. They just, I mean, look at this. It's a rough area. It's, I mean, look at those guys here. Yeah, they're just sitting, they're just riding bikes, kids' bikes. I mean, it's rough. It's rough for sure. I didn't expect to see that, to be honest. I mean, I watched The Wire again. This is what, 2012. Wow, that's even worse. Back then, we watched The Wire, and but you know, it's like a TV show. You expect to see like some things getting a bit exaggerated, not exactly the reality that it is. And especially with time from then, we expect also some good changes, but no. And again, this is 2012, quite a while back, so this is 2019, just before pandemic. Things improve, I would say, but more likely in the car department than actually house. This one looking still bad. I mean, I would just almost say like looking pretty decent, but now look at this window. They're boarded with wood. Look, they even don't cut their own grass. I mean, what the fuck? Those guys do, but those ones, like, come on. Those guys, they're doing pretty well. This one, they're doing better for sure. But yeah, it's confirmed. I would say 2019. Look at this. West Baltimore, it's pretty rough. But let's say, okay, let's moving on to a different area. Maybe we find something better here. Maybe. Oh, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Let's check this one. It's not so bad. Not so bad. Some sort of a working district, I would assume. Again, a bit garbage each and there, but not that much. Man, the guy with the Google Street View car. You have some faith in him. I mean, for God's sake, show us all those areas. It's a lot of people here, that's for sure. A lot of people. For God's sake, I mean, again, look at this garbage here. Come on, and look at this front lawn. Absolutely horrible. And everybody living in some sort of apartments, buildings. Clearly, they're not houses. If you have a common wall with your neighbor, you don't have a house. You have an apartment. This is what, 2019, just before pandemic. I mean, not exactly the American dream that I want to see. A lot of crap here. But again, in the car department, they're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well in the car department. I guess they have money, but I'm not sure exactly what they're spending on, just on the cars, and that's it. Yeah. Not so great. This one is a bit better. But again, look at this trash here. McDonald's trash. Just bad front lawns. Let's check them. I mean, we see enough from the West Baltimore. Yeah, it confirmed it's pretty bad. Let's see on the East Baltimore. Let's see how things are here. They're improving or they're even worse. So far so good. I don't see trash on the ground. Houses, yeah, again on the some low income, I would say. A bit of a trash here. Oh, I think it's a paper. It's no paper. I'm not sure. But a bit of trash here. I can see it. A bit more open space, that's for sure. Cars a bit better. This is what, 2023, but more income area, I would say. They have like jet skis here. So far a bit better, I have to say. And I can see from above they have some pools here, so those above the ground, so not exactly the best ones. But let's check this one. Oh, this one could be a rough area. Yeah, pretty much the same rough area as we see, but again, the car's doing pretty well. I mean, yeah, I don't like it. I mean, like, living in the place like this, it looks bad. It's not American, for God's sake. I mean, like, we seem so nice so far, and we see even in New York, in other areas, they're doing pretty well, and here, not so great, I have to say. Not so great, that one. Here it's a bit better, but again, very crowded. Too many cars on the street. Houses too close to each other. Not that much trees. Even the east of the Baltimore doesn't seem to do that well. Let's check the north. Wow, this area could be good. This one, it could be a really rich one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're looking better. Yeah. It's already nicer. It's already nicer. That's how supposed to live, see? That's how supposed to be right here. But it's not for everybody. I'm not sure exactly how expensive it's gonna be to buy a house here. What is this here? Snow route. No parking during snow emergency. What the fuck that even means? Snow emergency. Snow route. 25 again, speed limit. No, it's at least 30, even 40 here in some area. It's just way too low. But the houses is nice. It's a bit of a garbage here, I think. I'm not sure, like it could be a plant, I don't know. But overall, much cleaner. They're doing better. Probably this is a more white area, that's why they're doing better. So we see how the blacks live. When they put them together, I mean, like you put in their own people, for God's sake. And yeah, they're doing worse when you put them together. Just the way, not again, those are experiments that they run. It's nothing else than experiments. See if you can take them and civilize them. Take it from the third world countries in Africa and see if they can, over the time, they can, again, garbage day, if they can get actually civilized. And so far, not exactly. You can have a few examples that they're doing very well. I'm not saying like every single one of them, but you have to look at the whole picture. I mean, you can't just nitpick a few of them. Just have like a whole picture. How they doing? And they're doing worst, for God's sake. Not like the white population, let's say, like the whites that they build the country, for God's sake. Clearly, they don't have the same values as us. So the same is for Asians, for anything non-white, pretty much. You see that. Again, it's an experiment. They have to run it to have some data. It sucks, but it is what it is. This one looks like more like Los Angeles in the hills, for God's sake. Very narrow streets with those houses here. It's pretty nice, but again, I would not want to live in a place like this. It's just way too cramped. Too, I don't know. Don't like it. It just feels bad. Feels like. And can you imagine one of those huge American trucks here on those small streets? Meeting another car from the other opposite way. No, this one on the main road probably a bit better. Yeah, here it's better. Have a nice Mustang there. Over 3.25 tons. I'm not sure exactly what that sign said. Again, speed limit is 25. 25 is way too low. Check it by the radar. I mean, it's too low, 25 here, like at least 50 here. It's easy to get a 50 here. But they're looking pretty good here in the north of Baltimore. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing in the south, but I don't think it's exactly a South Baltimore because they have the, the main city. Let's call it. Let's check this one too. Let's see how they're doing in more closer to the center area. And this is what, from a bike in 2025. I'm not interested in that. Yeah, this one is better, even though it's from 2020 in the pandemic here, not that many people outside. This is October, this is Halloween, for God's sake. I mean, look at this. It's goddamn Halloween, boys. And you're doing pretty well in the car department, I have to say. Ooh, Baltimore, rough area. Yeah, that's for sure. And I can understand why the population is going down. I can understand why the whites wants to move out. I understand why the black population is still going up. I mean, like, how was the numbers for really quickly, just to make sure I didn't get it wrong. So 1970s 81%, now 58. Black 17, now 31. Asians going up, Native Americans going up, but not that much to ask for them, and the other guys just absolutely destroys everything. So yeah, when you see the population, the white population is going up. Probably now they are around 50%, most likely. When the white population is going down, chaos and destruction is gonna follow immediately. So it is what it is. Here again, it feels like Little Italy to me. A lot of cables, like in a third world country, not that much room on the street. I have no idea how this guy parked. It's absolutely huge truck here. Probably the guys from the construction area here, I will assuming. But overall, yeah, not a very American street. I would say more like a European one, I would say it looks like, but no, not very American. This is 2022. We have the mailman right here that's doing for the American post office. Overall, these areas that close to, yeah, it's like more they selling apartments here, and they have the gay flag here. That's the first problem that they have so far here in Baltimore. The gay flag. Overall, I have to say, again, we see the wire, so I expected to see something rough, but in the same time, I expected to see a bit exaggerated in the TV show, and in reality, a bit more mellow, a bit better, especially like it was like 20 years ago. But no, it got even worse, for God's sake, somehow. Yeah, in the center, yeah, it's a different story. They look nice, no worries there. In the north part, when the majority of the white population probably lives, they're doing also pretty. I mean, I've checked this one, they're doing pretty well, even here on the street. Judging by the trees, the houses, the space between them, it's nice. It's a nice area. Again, not that much parking space, unfortunately. I guess it is what it is. They have the Liverpool Football Club flag here, so I guess it's a Liverpool fan here. What else can we see here? Overall, they're looking pretty nice. I mean, again, when whites leave, usually things are doing pretty smooth. Again, not always. They have some white areas when things are not doing that well. Probably gonna check that in Ohio. But overall here, when you compare them one to one, yeah, better. Here, again, the same ghettos, I would say. I don't like it. It's just, it's bad looking. It's rough. I'm not sure exactly who had the idea to build those things, but it's rough. It's horrendous. Although this one, it's a bit cleaner, and judging by the cars, they're doing a bit better. Still not very American again. Not, when I say America, that is not the way I imagine it. Here again, pretty well. Oh, look at this. They have some potholes here. So I guess this is the infrastructure that crumbles, that they say, but probably just a street. I mean, look at this one back in the day, pretty much the same. They didn't make that much differences from now. But this one, they got repaved at some point, because looking pretty good, but they got a lot of cracks there. So probably you're gonna see, this is what, 2013, so quite more than 10 years ago. They have some areas, yeah, they can need some improvement, but look at this Hyundai, pretty nice. That they need some improvement, but overall they're doing pretty well even here. So yeah, let's check the other area. So Baltimore, oh yeah, the West Baltimore, absolutely chaotic. Do not want to go even to check that. Let's say if you get in America to see how rough actually it is. It is rough. It is bad, and I didn't say that much. Again, I don't want to have some bias that people are gonna say, oh, you check the bad areas more than the good ones. You know that it's a bad area and stay there because you want to make it look bad. No, I just check them equally, in my opinion, and have a hunch again and a curiosity from the TV show The Wire, how things are there. Here in the fields, looking pretty nice here outside the cities. Yeah, and again, I try to be as fair as possible when I make those videos. Just check them, how they live. No bias, no, equal chance. Let's call that equal chance. Those cables, I don't like it. Imagine, look at this, how much better they're gonna look without those cables. It sucks that they have it, but it is what it is. But look at this, in the house, they have it clearly on the ground, underground. I don't see cables crossing here, so. Again, this is what, 2022? I don't think they replaced it by now, but with time, we will see. Overall, they're looking pretty good. House is pretty nice here. The road's pretty nice. They have some sort of a new community built here, which they are very close to each other, which I don't like it. Not that many trees. But again, you need to have like really good neighbors to stay that close to them, which I highly doubt that. So yeah, it's way too close. I get it. They probably make it because it's cheaper to make it. It's, I don't need that much land. That's a nice station wagon. Whoever has this Cadillac, looking very nice. This is what, 2025, very recently. They're doing pretty well here. Nice, nice road, nice cars, nice houses. A bit too close to each other, but again, that's a different. I mean, look at this. Wow, that's way too close. I mean, look at this. It's way too close. That is not very American, buddy. I'm not sure exactly who approved this project, but they should be in jail if you approve a chaos like this. I mean, look how close they put them together. It's just, you should be in jail, whoever approved that. I don't give a fuck if they justify like we need houses. Yeah, we need houses, but not like fucked up one like this one. And that's available pretty much for the entire Western world. Yeah, if it was a third world country or a second world country, I would say okay, fine. I guess it's better than nothing. But for the Western countries, for the first world country, not even close. I mean, like no, something like that should be absolutely illegal for God's sake. I mean, like if you're doing something like that, fine, but you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison. Not talking about 5 years, not about talking 20 years. No, if you live 100 years, 100 years you're gonna stay in prison for God's sake for what you done. I mean, like you destroy. That's an attempt of destroying the culture. That's murder of the culture. We should be punished with the highest possible penalty. And in this one, it's life in prison in special condition. Of course, you can't just go in prison. Like no human contact for the rest of your life with anyone. Staying alone in a cell and reflect on what you're just trying to destroy. Which that is too low, but just what else can you do? And minimum food, obviously, and water, just like I say. And a smaller cell, obviously. Just like they put those people to live like that, so close to each other, so small land. They deserve to see how that feels. Here in the forest, looking pretty good. The road again, pretty nice. I mean, pretty good overall. Pretty good. They're doing pretty good. What else can... Oh, they have some sort of a town here with an airport. Wow, that's pretty big. I'm wondering how those guys live here. Probably better than West Baltimore. Yeah, at least they have... See, they don't have like very high-end houses or something like that. But at least they have a bit more space between them and a bit more land. And a bit more trees, especially in the back of the house. In the front of the house would be nicer to have like this guy here has. But they're doing better, even though it's like, look at this, close to the end of the town or whatever that is. And they have easy access to the beach. And I'm assuming it's pretty nice beach. Oh yeah, it's pretty nice here. So yeah, overall somebody burned something here. They're doing pretty well. Unfortunately, from what I've seen so far, Maryland is the least favorite of my state so far. It's just, I don't like it that much. And it's not just because of West Baltimore. I mean, like, overall, they don't seem to do... I mean, look at this big one. Let's check this one. They don't seem to do that well. It's just, they say like the third in the country for the household income. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see it. I mean, like, okay, the city on the East Coast, they're doing okay, they're doing better, but on the paper. But most of them, they do. So far, we see a few things that they're doing pretty... This is Halloween, by the way. But state like Maryland here, and especially Baltimore, they don't seem to do that well. I'm gonna be honest. And when you see that they are democratic states, it makes more sense immediately. But still, it's America, for God's sake. You're supposed to do better than that. It's just sad, just really sad. Oh, that's a really nice... Look at that. That's a real truck. That's a real Ford truck, in my opinion. Not this one. They raise it up. I mean, the body, the ground clearance probably is lower than this one. They put another cabin in the back for whatever reason. They shorten the bed. They make it like 3 times more expensive and all that bullshit. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just, that's not a real truck, in my opinion. A real truck is for work, and that's it. You transport things in the back. Yes, you have some motorcycle and all that, fine. That was the point of those. I mean, I use it when you need it. That's why they make them so cheap. And you can buy actually the daily driver, and then you buy a truck for whatever you need it to do stuff. If you have, like, again, have motorcycles and you work in the construction and you actually need it. Otherwise, stay away from them, in my opinion. It just doesn't make any sense. It's gonna cost you a lot of money to buy, especially those days. And they use a lot of gas. They're not that comfortable comparing with the regular car. It just doesn't make that much sense to me. But again, everyone has their choice. Ooh, but look at this. This is 2020, and you can see in those backyards more sedans than SUVs and trucks. So maybe it's a low-income area, we'll say, at some point. But I really like those old... I mean, look at this, old Toyotas, old Buicks. They looking so American, so nice. It's kind of sad now. Everyone kind of switched to in Europe at least they switched to SUV, and in America probably it's the same thing. They switched to SUV and trucks. So the regular cars, the one that they were actually pretty nice. Oh, look at they have some tracks here. They kind of got hijacked, I would say. I know the car companies try to push those cars, those SUVs, bigger cars. They have bigger margin on them, so they pretty much stealing money for us. Then they're gonna sell you like a regular car, but still, it's sad. It's just, especially with what's happening now in the car industry, it's disgusting. Let's call it like that. It's disgusting. Here, not so much. I mean, like they're looking absolutely great here. I mean, look at this. They have trees on the middle of the road. They have nice houses. They have American flags pretty much everywhere. They're doing well. They're doing well. Nice houses again. They have some sort of a soccer practice, soccer football. For American, it's soccer. But it's football for the rest of the world. Nice area. I mean, it's not West Baltimore, for God's sake. You know, I mean, just way too much difference here. So I was assuming again, it's all about the work, in my opinion. It's just, can you imagine if everybody can work from home and making like a real good money? Let's say, for example, you, and it's a crazy idea, you remote control a robot in a factory so you don't have to go to the factory. Just an idea there, you know. So you don't have to have those advanced robotics so far, right now. You just can build a cheap one that they can do the job for you. Have some sort of a Ukraine flag. That should be illegal, for God's sake. I mean, look at this one. Another country, some other foreign country flag. That's insane. So just a crazy idea out there. Like I said, you remote control the robots from your home, so you don't have to go to the work, and you clock your, I don't know, 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever you stay on the job, and that's it. But you don't have to go there. You don't have to jam the traffic. You don't have to use gas. You don't have to wake up earlier to go to the job. You don't get injured at the job. That's also very important for the Americans. And yeah, when you're gonna have the technology that a robot can actually function by itself, then yeah, then you should get a paycheck every month. So you can actually buy stuff, enjoying, and move the economy from the scarcity based to the truly consumer based. That would be crazy tough there. I'm sure it's not exactly very polished. Obviously, just got here right now, but it's interesting, you know, because then it's gonna allow you to move in area like this instead of staying in a West Baltimore, for God's sake. So yeah, and combine that with cheaper housing, cheaper land, and all that good stuff. You could do very well in a. I mean, like who doesn't want to live in a place like this compared with almost anything, especially with Baltimore. Even it's the east or west, doesn't matter by now. But yeah, the west it's pretty rough. I mean, that's America right there. See, that's America right there for me, buddy. Ain't no getting more American than this. I mean, front yard with trees, a nice cows, big lands, open roads, great roads, nice neighbors. Don't stay that close to each other. That's America right there for me. I mean, can't get more American than that, probably, right? Especially on the goddamn East Coast, for God's sake, buddy. They're doing well. They're doing well here, and they have access to a river and pretty close access to the ocean right here if you want to enjoy it. I mean, like, you can go there probably every weekend. Again, crazy idea that I just said, like with the remote robots. It's just an idea, but it kind of showed the possibility that we can have it right now. You don't have to wait for this autonomous one. And yeah, the idea is to produce as much as possible so you can actually fulfill the demand of every single one of us. If somebody wants to have a new car every 5 years, you have the production for that. There's no problem. You need money for that? Fine. The government, like I said, is gonna send you a check for 5,000 at least, and year by year, you receive the same amount of money, but the prices year by year go down. So it's like you're receiving even more money every year. So pretty good, pretty good. And you have the greatest life. I mean, like the truly greatest country in the world, but you need to secure the border for that because you're gonna have a lot of people that coming there constantly. You're never gonna achieve that, or you're gonna drag that to hundreds of years until you can achieve it. So securing the border is number one priority for everyone, and not just the border, security in the migration. Just because they came illegally there doesn't mean they have the right to stay at some point, in my opinion. It's just some people hijack the system and they make everyone stay there legally. It's not exactly legal when stop your country achieving the great goals, and even if they slow you down when achieving that, it's not worth the price. Like, what exactly are they supposed to take all those people, especially not from the Western culture? I mean, they're from the Western culture, I can understand it. It's like pretty much, I mean, like a change of population between Europe and USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all those countries that are clearly Western countries, makes sense. I mean, like they are pretty much, you calculate how many they are, they have pretty high income, very well, like I say, similar culture, very well civilized people. Makes sense. But anything south of the American border, or south of the European border, or east of the European border, doesn't make any sense for me. It's just it's chaos and destruction. That's my opinion. Oh shit, I think I got outside. I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, overall I have to say Maryland, the least favorite so far, the least favorite state. And it makes sense because it's democratic pretty much. So yeah, those guys promise a lot and clearly they don't deliver that much. Clearly this is a white area, 100%. They're doing very well, mostly white area, doing pretty well. And I don't know exactly how they convince those blacks to vote for them when they just don't, they don't even, they don't improve their lives. How you convince them to keep voting for the same pretty much party, the same guys, and they hope it's gonna get better? How? I mean, I look how many years got from the wire to today, and they got worse, and probably they still voting Democratic. Probably they voting for the black guy that candidates there. They don't give a fuck about the the actually improving. They just want to see a black guy mayor. They just want to see a black guy in power there, and the things they're gonna do well. And let me tell you, every time blacks usually are in a making decision, let's say, position, a powerful position, things goes down the toilet immediately. It's just the way it is. I mean, look at in Africa. I think at some point even the African says when white man is in power, everything goes smoothly. Everything is great. Not everything great, but it's better. When black man is in power, chaos. And those are their words, my words, but not my words. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see. Even in Africa, if you go, probably like from my understanding from the documentary, if you go there as a white man, they welcome you very well. So see, they have some respect, some of them at least, for what the whites. I'm not saying we were perfect, obviously, not even close, but definitely better than they have now. So probably the same with this one. I'm not sure exactly why they going for the has to be black, has to be their own brother, or whatever they call it. Clearly, even by saying that, they clearly make a separation between us and them, the whites and black in this case. So it's already they already start with a mistake, but fine. But yeah, you see it. It's just maybe they're not that advanced in civilization. I can understand that. So it's you need time for that. Who knows? Maybe hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. White population, very high. Let's call it moral in our blood, in our culture. Just the way we are. Not perfect, again, they're not every single one of us like doing the right thing. It's still humans, by the way, we're talking here, but much better than any other race, in my opinion. It's just the way it is. I mean, like, look at the data, look at how they live, just clearly that's the case. Unfortunately, recently they got hijacked by the left for whatever reason. The white population has some sort of a suicide desire right now, but I think that is gonna pass really fast, so we're not gonna see that much longer. But yeah, it was again another experiment that we had to go through them. White people like to make those experiments to see, to have exactly data, See exactly why they always go in the street cars, the street views in the garbage day. Well, it's a really nice cars here. Yeah, white population always make experiments, and we like to have a lot of data. We like to know for sure. We like to have something written, nothing left behind to make sure. And yeah, when you run those experiments, it sucks for us most of the time. But fortunately, they don't last that much longer. So we are at the end of the left experiment, and probably was one and done at least for a generation by the end of the century for the generation. So yeah, glad to see that for sure. Glad to see that. Overall, I think even in Maryland here, they're doing pretty well. I mean, look at this area, absolutely nice, wide open space, nice housing, nice cars. Although not a big fan of those Germans one BMWs. Even if you have a lot of money, it's still gonna cost you a lot of money to fix them. I'm not sure exactly what car is that, but doing pretty weird color for a car. Yeah, overall they're doing well here. Overall, yeah, in this area they're doing great. I mean, look at this nice colonial style house, pretty good. Overall, I would say Maryland, again, that's my least favorite state so far. Even though the income, probably it's a very not exactly equally shared income. They have that third position in the country, like almost probably by now it's like $100,000 household income. I highly doubt that they have that in West Baltimore, but again, they're choosing probably the wrong side every time, so that's why they keep remaining poor. And also the cultural thing and civilization thing and civilized also thing, but it's a different discussion. Overall, I would say, yeah, Maryland, not exactly my favorite state so far, but probably more than those $100,000 income household. They are more reflected on the white population, I would assume, probably even more than 100,000, judging by how those white areas, in my assumption, were looking. So yeah, overall, good. It's not bad. It's just I seem better so far in the United States. So yeah, even like I say, Pennsylvania, much better. Maine, not even close. There were states with much better looking, let's say. And yeah, like 6 million people, and they start going plateau with this, start going down. And look at this, from the white population in the 70s. Now in 2020 with a 58% remain, probably by now, maybe like 2030, they're gonna be under 50%. Black population probably is gonna be around 36%, something like that, so more than a third. And the white population starts to go down, still on the top right now with more than 50%, but pretty soon they're gonna get overtaken by blacks, and then my assuming the growing rate that they have for the Asians is gonna get also pretty high, and 2 race or more race, whatever they have it here, also they're gonna go up. So yeah, it's and don't pay like non-Hispanic whites. What the fuck that even means? Come on, they're white or not? That's it. Whites, everything came from Europe, full-blooded white. United States whites. Everything else, it's colored pretty much. But they don't want to let you to say that. But fine, I guess I have to say it. So no biggie there. So far, again, Maryland, not the favorite one, but still doing much better than the average of the world, I would say. So yeah, and again, some areas they're doing very well, others not so much. If you are here in Maryland and you watch this video by any chance, just leave a comment, say how things are there, especially in the Baltimore. And I highly doubt that you watch this video from the West Baltimore, but you never know, you know. So leave a comment, say how things are there, and that'll be interesting. I'm gonna read them and even respond to them. So yeah, check the other videos that I make, and see you next time.